Good day, I'm Stephen McHugh, and this is your JIS News for Thursday, October 13, 2022. 13 new homes have been delivered under Phase 1 of the Rosemead Park housing development in Old Harbour, St. Catherine. They are from a total of 140 detached two-bedroom units being purchased by the National Housing Trust NHT from Rosemead Developers Limited under the Guaranteed Purchase Program. Prime Minister Andrew Holness, who handed over the houses at a ceremony on Wednesday, says a total of 70 units will be made available in Phase 1.
Of the 70 units being purchased by the NHT in Phase 1, 19 have been reserved for public sector workers and persons with disabilities. The remaining 51 were offered to selectees. 69% are women. 33% are young adults between 19 and 35 years of age. 37% are not so young adults between 46 and 55 years of age.
The ceremony featured the special handing over of a modified wheelchair-accessible unit to former member of the Jamaica Constabulary Force, Constable Owen Graham, who was injured while on duty. Rosemead Park will be a complete community with paved roads, traffic signs, stormwater drains, central sewage treatment system, and other infrastructure. Land within the development has also been earmarked for green spaces, recreational and commercial activities, a school, and a church. Meanwhile, two families in central Kingston are the newest beneficiaries of government's new social housing program, NSHP. Minister without portfolio in the office of the Prime Minister, Floyd Green, represented the Prime Minister at the recent presentation ceremony. He revealed that over 98 houses had so far been completed under the NSHP, with 50 more under construction.
What you are seeing today are two new units that have been constructed from reinforced concrete, comprised of 2 bedrooms, living room, dining room, bathroom, kitchen. And I also appreciate that the work was done up to standard, quickly, in time, and in budget.
The recipients from Central Kingston, Maxine Cross and Julia Rogers, are now among the more than 500 Jamaicans who have benefited under this initiative of the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation.
I big up God, because God make this possible for me. Yeah, because the way the house stay, I couldn't in it. I couldn't stay in it. Rain that come wet me. I don't know how to manage.
The homes were delivered in partnership with the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development. More than 1,300 residents in St. Elizabeth are now holders of certificates of title for their lands. The titles were issued by the National Land Agency, NLA, recently to persons living in Bartons, Wharf, Burnt Savannah, Essex Valley, Houghton, Lacovia, Littitz, and other communities in the parish. Public Relations Officer at the NLA, Brittany Stewart, says it's part of the agency's mandate to issue 20,000 titles in 3 years.
We are aiming to register, have all the unregistered lands in the country registered, and we decided to start with St. Elizabeth because it is the parish that has recorded the least number of lands, unregistered lands in the island. So we actually started the distribution activity in February.
The work falls under the NLA's systematic land registration program, and this latest distribution follows similar land titling exercises held earlier this year in St. Elizabeth and St. Catherine. The first National Identification System NIDS Enrollment Center has been completed and is expected to be handed over this week. It is located at the Central Sorting Office in Kingston and will be the first site to roll out the NIDS pilot program at the end of the year. Minister without portfolio in the office of the Prime Minister, Floyd Green, made the announcement during Wednesday's post-cabinet press briefing at Jamaica House.
So already we've tendered and procured contractors to work on 4 additional post office through Kingston and St. Andrew, which will form a part of our initial rollout.
He says the NIDS pre-enrollment software is also expected to be completed by the end of October to early November. The NIDS regulations were completed and sent to the Attorney General's chambers. The full rollout is expected to take place in the second quarter of 2023. And finally, the Minister with responsibility for information, Robert Morgan, is assuring that the ban imposed by the Broadcasting Commission on illicit content is not intended to restrain rights to freedom of speech. Instead, he says it is meant to promote decency and moral standards. Minister Morgan was addressing this week's post-cabinet press briefing. He asserts that the government has a responsibility to implement standards and set an example for the spaces it controls.
We're not fettering people's right to free speech. There are so many other portals you can use to promote your artistic freedom. The thing about radio is that if I turn on a radio here, I'm not the only one who is hearing it. It's a public facility that caters to the public, that is licensed by the government, that is regulated by particular laws. So it is not about fighting crime. It's about decency and standards.
On Tuesday, the Broadcasting Commission of Jamaica, BCJ, issued a directive for all broadcasters to immediately stop playing songs that promote illegal activities. It applies to content transmitted through radio, television, or cable services of any audio or video recording, live song, or speech that promotes and glorifies illicit activities such as scamming, drug abuse, and gun violence. The BCJ says the directive was issued under the guidance of the Television and Sound Broadcasting Regulations. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stephen McHugh. Thanks for watching.